Hi guys, I have a knife review for you today. This is the Cold Steel AK-47. I'll just start off by saying I love this knife. It's excellent. It's of course primarily designed to be a defensive knife for a heavy-duty folder. It uses the triad lock, one of the strongest locks, in my opinion, the strongest lock that I've ever seen. I mean, if you ever put this knife under so much stress, the blade will fail long before the lock will. I guarantee it. Its handle slabs are solid G10. They're nice and thick. G10 is insanely strong stuff. Very, very, very strong stuff. One problem I had with it when I first got it was that the G10 is very rough texture, which is great for your hands in a tactical knife, but it's very bad for your pants. So I saw the Nothing Fancy JB Weld modification, and I did that. I didn't even bother to take out these screws. What I did was I covered them with a bead of hot glue, and then I was able to do my JB Weld, deal, and that hot glue just peels right off very easily. So that worked out great. So this was very easy to do. Very quick. I went over it with Krylon spray paint afterward. It looks great, almost factory. I didn't do quite as clean as job as Nothing Fancy did, but it still looks great. I personally like it a lot better without the coating on there. I probably should go over it with some fine grit sandpaper to make it look a bit cleaner. This is very functional. I have it as sharp as I can get it. I just started trying to freehand sharpen, and I still kind of suck at it. But I did a decent enough job. One thing that I didn't like about it factory, this is kind of a project knife for me. I've done a few modifications to it. One thing I didn't like about the pommel when it came from the factory is that the lanyard hole was pretty small, and I could get paracord through it, do a lark's head knot on there, but it was quite a pain, and it took a long time, and it kind of cut away at the paracord on the edges. So I thought, hey, you should make that lanyard hole a lot bigger, and I did. So I just drilled it out. Doesn't look super clean or anything, but it's awesome now. I just drilled it out. Don't remember how big this is now, but it's nice and easy. I can fish that through with one hand, no problem. I don't need to use a screwdriver or anything like that. So I highly recommend doing that. It makes it a lot easier to change out your lanyards and stuff, especially if you like making new ones all the time like I do. It's actually very easy for me to deploy it a ton of different ways. What I see people doing with axis locks is they'll grab it like that and shake it out. Well, I've kind of learned to do that with the triad lock. I'll just depress the lock bar like that, and that relieves a lot of the tension on the knife, and I can just flick it out like that. Do it closed, open. It's pretty easy to do. And then with this thumb plate here, one thing I like about thumb plates and thumb discs is that they're easy to open with your index finger. So you can do that deal. You can do that. You can do that. And then of course you can do the wave from the pocket. Here, I'll just show you on my jacket here. That the edge of that thumb disc catches on any fabric or whatever you put it up against, and it pulls open your knife for you. It's faster than an auto. You're less likely to get in trouble just legally than with an auto probably. It's an excellent knife. Very ergonomic. It feels great in the hand. It's nice and thick. If you look at the blade there, it's definitely not anywhere near being too thin. The tip itself is it's not. I wouldn't say it's delicate, but it's medium. So anyway, I highly recommend this knife. What does it weigh? I remember seeing 7.2 ounces. I don't know where I put my catalog. Funny, I have all these catalogs all over the place. And I don't even know where I put my Cold Steel one. Oh well. I remember seeing 7.2 ounces. It's very heavy, but I don't really notice it because I've been carrying it for so long. I've had this knife well over a year now, and it's held up great. The only maintenance you really need, you gotta sharpen it, and then I get some white lithium grease, and I put it on the lock face there. I put it in that little cavity, and then on right there, and just in that area, just get it inside there. I found this knife very easy to take apart. It was not difficult at all. The triad lock is very simplistic and easy to figure out. Once you've done it once, you can do it easy, no problems. It's great. The pocket clip, it does not carry deep in the least. It leaves probably about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half hanging out of your pocket. I personally love that. I hate deep carry pocket clips. This one is great for me. I'd almost wish it carried a little bit higher even. So if you like deep carry pocket clips, sorry, it's not going to be deep carry by any means. I personally love it though. I don't want to have to do any nonsense, you know. I don't have to do that kind of. I mean, I'm not going to have time for that in a defensive scenario. You know, that's not. You lose all your fine motor skills. It's just not practical. I don't like that at all. So I personally love having plenty sticking out of the pocket, and this gives you plenty of that. Of course, talking about a tactical knife, it does have that pommel right there. It would be incredibly effective as a, you know, hitting pressure points as a less lethal weapon. It'd be great in that. You can do it with the knife closed as well. If you don't even want to have your blade exposed, you can do that very easily. I've actually used this as a hammer. It's almost like an EDC hammer. So the door hinges in my house, the pins in there, they kind of ride up in the door hinge. And so one day I saw that and I just kind of went around the house pounding the pins down. Made a bit of a made a few small dents in the pommel. Very, very. I mean, it's just, you know, battle scars. It's awesome. The pommel is great. I saw with the old version they did the what was it? A plastic pommel, a polymer pommel. That's hard to say. So people I saw on the old ones, they were doing steel ones and stuff. This one's aluminum. I believe I could be wrong, but I think the lock bar is steel. The blade is made of AUS 8A. It's worked perfectly fine for me. It's relatively easy to sharpen. The blade has plenty of sweep to it. It's excellent for draw cuts and things of that nature. It is a I'd say a clip point style blade. It's not quite what was I going to say? You have a bit of a swedge right there. It's hollow ground, very deep, long hollow ground blade there. It's not like when you look at the what was it? The Endura. It's hollow ground, but it starts like way up there. I love the grind on this knife. It looks great. Let me think. What else is there? Yeah, I think that's about it. We got blade shape, blade steel, weight about 7.2 ounces, lock strength. I think that's everything. It's a awesome knife. I highly recommend it. It's awesome. The Cold Steel AK-47.